we're gonna edit the video and fix that, or we're just gonna what are we gonna do?
You're gonna fix stuff.
I don't know. Welcome to Denver, Colorado. It'll be a separate video.
Yeah.
Welcome to Denver, guys. We're gonna drive through the kind of center of the city.
Ooh, cool, smashy cars.
What?
Smashy cars.
No idea what you're talking about.
It went to the junkyard, they put it in a junk machine, crushed it, and now it's a smashy car.
Because I can snow cover. Are they really snow cover?
Yeah.
What's way in the background, right?
Yeah.
You can barely see them.
Wow.
Wow, it really is snow cover. Wow, that's cool.
Yeah.
Alright guys, so we're in Denver, Colorado. We've got to drive out there today.
Yeah.
But you see it there, it might be like a 4-hour drive to get there. I don't know how far.
Yeah,
It looks close, but it might not be that close.
Yeah.
Driving through downtown Denver, Colorado. It's kind of weird because this video, what did I listen to? I don't even know. Okay, so there are some homeless people around here. Right there, you can see some artifacts.
Encampments.
Yeah. Just a few. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
We're going to drive into Denver and see the city for real. This video was supposed to be like an hour-long video, but I accidentally clicked the stop record button, and I'm too lazy to edit the video, so this will be a whole different video. Not that the more videos better. There are some homeless people. Let's see if it's as bad as people say it is. We're gonna drive through Denver and see how bad the homeless thing really is. I've heard it's horrendous, and well, so far we haven't seen it, but that could definitely change moving forward as we drive into town. You can see the skyline over there, and there are some snow-covered mountains in the distance. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's easy to miss them. It's really easy to miss them because they're so far away.
Yeah.
I'm just scratching my back. Yeah, boy. Denver, Colorado. Yeah, there's a lot of that here in the city.
Yeah.
It's hilarious. People are so dumb. You know? You are so stupid, man. You know?
That was hilarious.
That's hilarious. But that's how people are, you know?
Yeah.
People actually are like that.
Yeah. Okay.
So let's see if we can discover the city and see if it's really as bad as people. These stop signs make no sense. There's a boarded up house. That's pretty cool. Kind of boarded, partially boarded up. You got a lift kit in that Yukon? They lifted the whole thing. Oh, bless your heart, Colorado. They lifted the whole Yukon. You're only supposed to lift the front. They installed the entire lift kit. These people in the West are ridiculous, bro. He would have saved $200 on labor if he just didn't install the back of that lift kit. Unbelievable. Then he could have sold the back half of the lift kit on Craigslist and he'd have got $200 more. Denver, Colorado is in Colorado. It's kind of boring. I think the fun part is driving out by the mountains and stuff where we were earlier.
Yeah.
This is just kind of like bland and.
But we had to go through here to get to the
We
stuff.
gotta get to downtown. We have to do a bit of the city.
Interesting house though.
Este tipo se atravesó con su estúpido Range Rover ese.
That's a
Texting while driving con la basura.
Yeah.
Rah! Dogtopia?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, please don't tell me these people have restaurants for dogs.
Yes, they do.
Unbelievable. How stupid do you have to be? Look at this one in a Subaru. I don't see his face. Is that a he or she? I'll ask him. Sir, ma'am, how you doing, man? All right.
Yeah.
Couldn't figure out if it's a guy or girl. That's why people in the South can say yes sir and yes ma'am. It's hard to know outside of the South. Like I went to a hotel and I was like, sir, ma'am. And the person's like, sir, you're just not in the South. You don't have to say that no more. I don't know if that was a guy or a girl. That's something you won't see in the South too often. Remember my story where I went to, what city was it in?
I don't know.
Where I went to a hotel
Yeah.
and I called somebody ma'am.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a sir or ma'am. I was just like, sir, ma'am. I said ma'am. I was like, I just went with ma'am. I was like, I'm going to go with ma'am here instead of sir. Because in the South, I lived in Alabama for a year. And in the South, you learn to say yes, sir, yes, ma'am to everybody. And I was in the South and I was like, you know, I traveled somewhere else. And I think I went to Ohio or Michigan. I can't remember where. And I was like, oh, thank you, ma'am. And the person started crying. They're like, oh my gosh, you're so progressive and accepting of my, what do they call it?
Gender identity.
My gender identity. The person was like crying. Like, you accept my gender identity. You are so progressive. I'm like, no, I just couldn't figure out what the crap you were. I didn't say that. I thought that. But I was like, sure, I'm a very progressive person. Like, I made this person's day by calling him ma'am. I guess it was a guy. And he was his person. What do they call it?
His identity.
He's identified as a ma'am, and I guess nobody called him a ma'am, and I called him a ma'am because that's what I thought it was.
And
he was
I
like,
think you're supposed to say her.
I don't know. Anyways, yeah. I called him ma'am. I was like, all right, ma'am. Well, you have a great day. Thank you for checking me in. And the person was like, oh my gosh, you're so progressive. You accept my identity.
They wanted to hug you.
Yeah, and I was like, I felt like saying, ma'am, I don't know what the crap you are. But I didn't say that. I was like, okay. I made this person's day, really, by being progressive. And I wasn't progressive. I was just actually backwards. But I was so backwards, I couldn't figure out what the right thing is.
That happens so often. It's
like
not
people
even funny.
Like people thought I was being progressive, and I was actually I was so backwards that I couldn't figure out which way to go about it.
I'm sure some guy left Alabama, went to California, and it happened to him.
Yeah, I'm sure I'm not the only person that's happened to. That's 1 year in Alabama. Imagine if we lived in Alabama our whole lives when we come out feeling.
Oh my god.
But this person like literally cried. They're like, oh my gosh, you're so accepting of my identity. Oh, you've made... the person was like crying. I was like, all right, man.
All right, yeah.
They're like, you are a charm. I was like, no, I've been living in Alabama for a year, right? Because it was in Louisville. It was in Louisville.
Yeah.
It was in Louisville.
Yeah.
It was in Louisville. I remember now. It was in Louisville. Yeah, I had spent 1 year in Alabama, so I was like, you know, I was covered in bed bugs and rebel flat. Just playing. I wasn't that bad. Well, I didn't get to that point, but I was. I spent a year in Alabama. I was like, you know, in Alabama, you learn that you have to say yes, sir, yes, ma'am to everybody. So I'm in Louisville, and I'm checking in, and the whole time just looking at this person like, is this a sir or a ma'am? I couldn't figure it out. I was like, okay, it's one or the other. And I was like, I'm gonna go with ma'am because if the person gets offended, I could say I meant to say man. I was like, oh no, I didn't say ma'am. I said man. Like, have a nice day, man. So I couldn't. Sir is hard to back out of, you know. But ma'am, you can back out of that. You can be like, oh, all right, have a great day, ma'am. You call me a ma'am? No, I said man. All right, buddy. You know, I can back out of that. So I went with ma'am. You know, I actually thought this out. Like, all right, we'll go with ma'am here. Is this place a little progressive? This is like a very place.
Yeah.
Not millennials. This guy's riding a bicycle without a shirt and a thong. Did I just see that? Or, I mean, if you're the shorts, they're way too short.
I love you.
This is definitely good for cancel culture. Just pick up on me.
Yeah.
Look at that rust bucket.
About to pass the state capitol.
This is featureless. You know, this reminds me of San Antonio, where downtown was completely featureless and bland. Mm-hmm. But as you get a little bit further out into the neighborhoods that have the most Mexican restaurants, then it's better. By the way, look at a map. Look at a racial map of the city. And when we're supposed to go to 5 Points?
We're on our way to 5 Points, Jose.
We're not there yet?
No, we're still got a little
This
bit
is
to go.
featureless. This is completely bland and featureless. Yeah, living in Alabama will definitely cause some long-term damage.
It really will.
This guy is not wearing a shirt. He's like driving around with no shirt and a bicycle. Is he barefoot too?
Almost.
Barefoot. Okay. I'm sorry, y'all. I lived in Alabama for a year. There's still a little bit of Alabama left in me. I'm working on it.
That's their state capital.
It's like any other state capital.
No.
Why are there a bunch of people protesting in front of it? What are they protesting?
I don't know.
They're protesting.
This is something.
Stupid millennials. It's a weekday. Don't they have a job to be at? That's what's wrong with America. On a weekday, they're protesting. Get it? Don't you have a job?
I
Okay,
think
there's
that's
definitely a
Gen
lot of homeless people.
Zers or something like that.
These are definitely homeless people, aren't
Yeah,
they? Are they all homeless?
that's bus station.
Okay, this is about the dumbest crowd of people I've ever seen. It's a week. What day of the week is it?
Tuesday.
It is a Tuesday at 1 o'clock. Shouldn't they be working? Look at the homeless camps. Oh, snap.
Oh man.
Okay, that's it right there. Let's check it out.
Okay, we're not even to 5 Points.
I want to go check it out. Get that thing. Bro, people in this city drive like jerks. Let me pass, come on, Suna. You don't see a big truck about to? I don't give a crap. I'm in a big truck. You hit it if you want to. That's a big trailer hit you, little. These people are ignorant as crap, bro. I want to see all those homeless camps. That's inspiring.
I just saw
Hit
him.
the trailer hitch.
I just
Why are
saw-
these people just jerks in traffic?
Then turn left onto
It's like,
Sherman Street.
if you even put on your turn signal, then they
left onto
purposely...
Sherman Street, then turn left onto East 18th
Like, just use your
Avenue.
turn signal. Use your turn signal here and watch people purposely stall out behind you to make sure you can't make your turn. I got a trailer hitch. That's a big ball. What's going on here?
Hipsters.
That's a big ball of steel. You can
I
hit
can't
it.
tell if some of these people are homeless or hipsters. It's on that road too.
So this is all homeless camps and crap.
Yeah.
This city's a dump. It's got nice areas, but you know, the good thing is they're all centered around downtown. You know, as long as they stay here, we're good. And you said, so there's just a camp right down the side of the road.
Yeah.
What I don't get about homeless people is, okay, you're homeless. I get that. Okay, you don't have a place to live. Now, what makes you think if you're homeless, you get to live downtown? No, you get to live out in the woods somewhere, something far in the outskirts. What makes you think if you're homeless, you get to live in the best part of the city? That's really entitled. If you're homeless, you don't get to live in the best part of the city. You get to live in the worst part of the city. What makes you think if you're homeless that you get to live in the best part of the city? You don't.
Oh.
It's pretty embarrassing. What I don't get is, why do you, like, let's say, okay, so you're homeless, you don't have a place to live. Why are you entitled then to come live in the center of the city? So it makes your whole town look like crap. Because if you're in the outskirts, okay, you're out in the outskirts. But if you're in the center of the city, then you're like defaming your whole entire town. And like, look at these buildings. These people invested. I'm not for protecting big companies or their interests, but I do have some common sense enough to know that these companies invested billions of dollars into your city to make these skyscrapers, and then you're gonna bring and lay your poverty in front of them. That's just, it's offensive. I get it. I've been homeless before.
Turn left.
There's always a person that you know what it's like to be homeless. I've been homeless. I know what it's like. I've slept in cars and in the woods. But I didn't go and lay in front of a rich person's house to mess up their life because mine sucked. I stayed out of the way. Was discreet about it, and I tried to change it immediately. You don't just get to live in front of like in the center of the downtown because you're homeless. No. Like, that's throwing your problem. You can't burden society with your problems. Like, right now, I have a problem and I gotta go fix my problem. That doesn't mean I get to burden the rest of society with my problem.
This lane.
Why?
20th Street.
Why?
That gets you.
There's the guy
4
without the.
points.
Yeah, there's the guy on the bicycle again.
Huh.
4 points or 5 points?
5 points.
5 points. I don't want to be at 4 points. I just feel like, what makes you think, okay, so you have this problem, you're homeless, so now you get to burden society because you're homeless. That's your own personal problem. Like the other day, I had somebody comment on my videos, what are you doing for the homeless? I'm like, nothing. I got a place to live because I pay rent at work. That's their problem. It ain't my problem.
Wow.
More tents over here.
In like the middle of the intersection.
Yeah. Like somebody, what are you doing for the homeless? I'm like, absolutely nothing. What am I doing for the homeless? I'm going to work and paying rent. That's what I'm doing. Making sure I don't end up homeless.
Someone gets loaded and then plows right through that. That sounds like a good.
Well, I just don't understand how you get to burden the rest of society with your problems. That's what I don't get about it. And if somebody wants to explain it to me, I'm definitely open to changing my mindset.
Turning right on Broadway.
Right. I'm definitely open to changing my mindset. If you want to give me an explanation that makes sense, I'm definitely open. Definitely open to ideas. If you want to give me an idea that makes sense. There's more camps going that way. You can see them on that way.
Oh my god.
Yeah, they're everywhere. Be careful what you say. Remember the PC police is present.
Oh yeah.
We're detained right now. They got us in handcuffs.
I'm just saying there's a lot.
No. Just be careful how you say it,
Yeah.
why you say it, because the PC police is going to come looking for you.
They're definitely coming for you.
I don't care. What I'm saying is like, what makes you think, okay, so now you have this problem. So what makes you think that now because you have this problem, you get to burden society because of that problem? No, you don't get to burden society. You get to fix your problem. You don't get to burden society. Like just reading the comments from other people like, what are you doing about homelessness? I'm like, paying my rent? That's what I'm doing about homelessness. I'm paying rent. Saving money. How are we gonna save this account in case something bad happens? I don't end up homeless. That's what I'm doing for homelessness. They're everywhere though. They really are. It's
We're
bad.
almost to the 5 points. This is 5 point area.
Yeah, there's tents everywhere. You saw them on the street. And the
Yeah.
back street's like full of tents and stuff.
Yeah.
What am I doing for homelessness? Paying my rent. And there are a lot of homeless people here. They're everywhere. It's pretty bad.
Okay. Yeah, we're in the neighborhood right
Yeah,
now.
as you can tell, there's a lot of homelessness here. Look, the harder your... I'm going to that street. That street looks interesting.
Yeah.
The harder your situation is, the worse your situation is, the harder you got to try.
Mhm.
Like, people that live out in the suburbs wake up at 5 in the morning and they don't get home till 11 o'clock at night. I live in a suburban place. Everybody in my neighborhood wakes up at 4:30 in the morning, leaves their driveway at 5, and they're not back till 11 o'clock at night. So if it's hard to keep a suburban lifestyle, what makes you think it's easy to keep a lifestyle, even like suburban people, like to live in the suburbs? You gotta wake up at 4:30 in the morning, and sometimes it's 11. I live in the suburban area. I watch it every single day. My neighbors wake up at 4:30 in the morning, and sometimes it's 11:30, and they're just showing up on the driveway. And then the next day they gotta do it all over again. If for some reason they decide that they don't want to go to work or they want to sleep in, then they jeopardize their whole entire life, man. You think somebody in the suburbs can just decide, I'm not gonna go to work today? You know, I'm not gonna try today? No, if they do that, that's the end of their suburban life. They're done. How many Subarus these people have?
Right?
Unbelievable. So even people that live a nice, comfortable life in the suburbs, they don't get to not show up to work. They don't get to sleep in one day. I live in the suburbs. My neighbors wake up at 5 in the morning. 11 o'clock at night, they're pulling up in the driveway, and then they got to do laundry. They might have days where they get 5 hours of sleep, and then they got a kid to take to school in the morning, a kid to pick up from school. That's what they got to do so they can have the things they need. So if living in the suburbs takes that type of effort to live decently, how much harder is it got to be poor? You can't be poor and then not expect that you're going to, you know what I mean? If the people that live a suburban lifestyle, that's how much they got to try, what makes you think you don't have to try? You got to try even harder. If that's what the rich, not even the rich, that's not rich ain't even the right word. If that's what middle class people have to do for a living, how much harder should life be for those that are poor homeless. You should be trying. You should be vigorous in effort to get out of your situation. So now you want to burden me with your problem. What are suburban people supposed to do? They wake up at 5 in the morning and they get home at 11 o'clock at night. What can they do for you? They can't even do stuff for themselves. You know? I watch my neighbors. It's a holiday. They get a day off. Finally, it's a holiday. You know what they get to do? They get to pressure wash their house that day. You know? And they're gonna stay home and sleep. No, now they want a property. Now they gotta go pressure wash it. So it's not like in any way it's easy. Even to be middle class is hard, and it's not gonna get easier. If you think that people that think housing's gonna crash and none of that's gonna happen. Life is only gonna get harder. So if you are struggling now, who's gonna make it easier? If you're wondering, or if you're thinking in any way or another, it crosses your mind that houses are going to crash and things are going to be easier, who's going to make it easier? If anything, they're going to make it harder.
Yeah.
You need to wake up to the reality of life, man. It's not easy. And stop trying to burden other people in society with your problems. San Francisco looking buildings.
Well, you are almost out west, so you are in the west.
Yeah, it's always perplexed me how when I go on these rants, Katie never has an opinion about them. She's just like, let me just stay out of this.
Yeah.
It's best you stay out of it.
Yeah.
You know, when the PC police come looking for
Yeah.
you.
I don't know.
You know, this reminds me of Miami if you just took the life away from it. I'm gonna go ahead and say downtown Denver sucks.
Yeah.
Massively. And I don't understand how society thinks that this is the place for homelessness. Like, imagine if right now I'm an ambassador and I come from another country to America, and I come to Denver and we're gonna do a $1 billion transaction. You're in downtown and you're inside one of these banks, and you're talking about a $200 billion transaction, or implications that are that big. And there's a homeless tent outside of the building. I just don't think it's the place for it. It would literally burden society less to, like in Minnesota
Yeah.
and Wisconsin, where they build out on the outskirts of the city. They'll build like a little tent city, like a shed city. Like they do that in They've done that in what place have they done that in? Just comes to mind is like when I was over in Madison, Wisconsin, where they built they have like a little empty lot, they fence it in, and it's like a hotel. You get a room key, and if you're homeless, you get like a little shed, and that little shed is kind of like downtown, or it's somewhere like not like in downtown, but like it's in the city, in a commercial area. It's not a residential area, and the city gives you a little tent. It's not a tent, it's like a shed. Better yet, it's a shed. So you file with the city, hey, I'm homeless. Okay, so you're homeless, here's a shed. So you get a shed now. And, and it's not this in the middle of the city. Like, it's a controlled thing. It's not where this is. These guys were working, though.
Yeah.
They're looking at us as a threat. They're looking to work. These guys are working.
Yeah,
They're looking at us like if we were looking for workers.
Yeah.
Some of those guys are going to work. So that's good. That's the way you're supposed to be when you're on the street. Some of those guys, they're looking for work. Not every last one of them. But some of those dudes, like when they saw the work truck, they're like, yep, let's go work. And that's the way you're supposed to be. Like if you're on the street and a work truck pulls up, you got to be like, hey, bro, I'll dig some holes. I'll do whatever the crap it takes. I'll do it. You need it, I'll do it. I do it. I do whatever you want. California Street. Let's go on California Street.
Exactly what I was
Oh
thinking.
yeah, I couldn't miss up this opportunity. At the end of the day, you know, there's only so much you can do for society. But I like the way Wisconsin handles it, where they have like an empty lot, they fence it in, and then they'll put like 50 sheds. You know, the sheds have like, you know, like a little bed and a little table, and you know, you can go sleep there. It's discreet. It doesn't look bad. You know, it's well maintained. That's a much better option than whatever this is. You know.
You're putting in big rocks to stop it.
Is that what they're doing? They're putting rocks in to keep people from... That's
Yeah.
embarrassing that they have to do that.
Yeah.
See, they have to put in rocks around the buildings to keep the people from you know, setting up camps outside of them.
Mm-hmm.
That's ridiculous. Like, the doesn't, like, how much effort goes into that? You know how much it costs to bring those rocks out there? You gotta put a bunch of rocks in front of your... And wouldn't it just be easier to find a better solution? But then what happens with these cities is that, you know, everybody's out to make a killing. Everybody's out for $1. When they do come up with like well, the phone's hot. Let me just put this on real quick. They just swallow up the money. You know, they don't really actually fix it.
Yeah.
Alright guys, I'm gonna blast the AC for a minute, just to keep our phone from melting, basically.
Yeah.
Turn it up for a second. But it amazes me how in U.S. cities, you know, downtown, the center of the city, on the footsteps of billion-dollar buildings is where we decide to do this. I just feel like we could easily, like, accommodate on the outskirts something. But then again, the word is accommodate. If you start to accommodate, then it makes people feel comfortable with that situation, which they should definitely not be comfortable in. Playing corridos while working. Alright, that's one way to do it. But just think about that building had to go to the extent of putting up rocks on their sidewalk to keep people from setting up tents in front of it. That's pretty. That there has to be a better solution than that. That road is so dry.
Look at that bear.
Where's the bear?
Right there, blue bear.
Blue bear. Oh, that's a giant bear.
Yeah.
Why is it blue?
I don't know. It's
Is the
blue.
map real quick? Where are we going to next? I'm getting tired of driving around the
I
city.
don't know. We got one day here.
This is a one way.
One way going that way.
Look up, open up a race map and see if we can find a Mexican area
Okay.
and see what that looks like. That might be have more life than this bland, whatever the crap this is. This is just bland. We need to find a place that's got more life and more fiber to it than this. Just go on race map, Denver race map.
I know.
I know me. Respect me, women. So the area we were in. Wow, the area that we were in is actually Spanish.
Yeah.
Southwest side of the city. Let's go into this area here.
Okay,
The
sounds good.
southwest side of the city. Let's go into there. In here. All right, guys. So there it is. That's downtown Denver for you. Yeah, there's a lot of homeless people here, and it's just odd how, as a society, we've decided that the center of a city is a place to do that. It's odd. Maybe they do it for safety. Maybe they feel safer there. I don't know. Maybe it's safer to be, being homeless is super dangerous. Maybe they feel like if they're in a place like this, they'll feel just a little bit safer. I don't know what goes into it, but let me hear your thoughts and opinions. And my thought is, if the people who live in the suburbs wake up at 5:30 in the morning and don't get home till 11, how much harder should the poor people be trying? Check it out from Denver.
I want to see a mountain.
Yeah, let's go look at those mountains.